Modern Warfare 2 beta is now officially coming to an end as of today, and the community and the content creators playing the game have very mixed opinions on the build that we've been playing so far. Granted, of course, this is a beta with over a month before the game officially releases on October the 20th, but from how Infinity Ward have formatted their responses back to the community on the feedback we've given to this game during the time we've played the beta, it worries me around how they will actually listen going forward. Now, I did an entire video on these huge feedback points and Infinity Ward's responses to them, and you'll find them down below in the description just below the like button. But it was essentially, in very short, Infinity Ward almost refusing to acknowledge any of the changes that the community are giving feedback on. Really infuriating responses and the way that they handled this, and I hope this does change going forward. This is the Call of Duty for the next 2 years. If they're not listening to the feedback during a beta, how transparent or how much are they going to listen to us within that 2-year period? It does worry me a little bit. But today we're going to look into and spend a bit of time on looking at what needs to change for this game when it finally releases in October. Of course, whether those changes will actually take place is a completely different story at this point, but we're going to detail everything down below. So check the timestamps in the description, everyone, to skip to whichever the part of the video that you'd like to listen to the particular topic, but leave a rating as well if you believe this game does need changing before the release around October the 20th or so. But without further ado, let's dive straight in. Now, I do want to start off this video by saying that Modern Warfare 2's base game is actually really fun, and it looks and sounds really, really good as well. I like the graphical upgrades from Modern Warfare 2019 and the new innovative features like the helmet spectator cam, which is personally my favourite thing that's come to this game. I just think it's such a good innovative feature. I think the sound design is also very good, albeit it's very, very loud right now, but in generally the sound effects, how crisp, how mechanical things sound, I think it's all really, really well put together, and it just sounds very good in general. If you enjoyed Modern Warfare 2019, you're going to love Modern Warfare 2 2022. But there's also another side to this story, and these are the people which don't really like this game for a multitude of different reasons. Let's list a couple of them. The user interface for this game is absolutely terrible and is a prime example of Infinity Ward or the Activision or Call of Duty trying to fix something that wasn't broken. The M4 and the MP5 are pretty much the only weapons you can use in this beta because everything else is so underpowered. UAVs, counter UAVs, and a couple of other kill streaks take so long for the animations to finish before you can actually call them in. All the maps in the beta we've played are mostly pretty mid, and they're not going to be ones to remember at all. Everything is so fucking loud in this game. My master volume on the PlayStation 5 is on 8. The minimap is ass, and it promotes slow play and camping. Lobbies disbanding after matches, which has been around for a couple of years, give or take, but either way, when are we ever going to go back to the way that it was? And last, but definitely not least, skill-based matchmaking is back in all of its glory, and it's as strong as it's ever been before. Look, admittedly, some of these things such as weapon balancing, the user interface, etc. will probably be changed or amended before the launch of this game, and you can just turn down the game volume even if it's ridiculously loud, even on 8, as much as you want to customize it to how you like it. But there are core and fundamental features and things within this game that will not be changed, and I can almost guarantee that. The maps will most likely all be the same, pretty much the same format as well at launch, with potentially a couple of different tweaks and changes here and there. We've seen that before in some betas. Skill-based matchmaking will most likely not be touched at all and will force people to try and abuse and get around the system by reverse boosting or using the likes of a net doomer to set your location to somewhere really unpopulated. The minimap just terrible, and Infinity Ward have even said that they're not changing this even after tons of feedback. And even the casual Call of Duty player, ones that don't play for a living, ones that don't have a YouTube channel, ones that just jump on after work and play, are experiencing this exact same problem. The minimap does not suit this game. It really doesn't. It promotes so much slower play, so much camping, and not everyone is going to like that. Even if you are a slower player, it can affect you too. Let's move on to our next topic of today's video, and that is skill-based matchmaking. Believe it or not, skill-based matchmaking has mixed views in the Call of Duty scene. The players that aren't necessarily as good at the game will put into lower brackets, meaning their lobbies aren't as difficult or sweaty all the time. Whereas if you're pretty good or above average of this game, you are most likely going to be put into lobbies which are extremely sweaty every single time. People have found a way to get around this by the likes of reverse boosting and by utilizing other networking equipment to get around this. And to be completely honest, you can also do this in Modern Warfare 2, and this has been done by Exclusive Ace, who has been testing this out. And look at this lobby you're seeing on screen right now. However, I've noticed that playing with friends in general is just way more fun. I mean, sometimes with friends, if they have lower KDs, it will bring the average KD of the lobby down, so you will tend to do better in that lobby if you're playing with a friend with a lower KD, and that's fair enough. But I find that even if I'm getting absolutely shit on by someone in the lobby, that I'm just enjoying myself more, taking my mind off trying to do as well in that lobby and just having fun with friends and pushing together and holding down a building and things. So that part of Modern Warfare has always been fun, even from Modern Warfare 2019. But when you're on your own, that's when you really start to see it. The fact that you need to be pre-aiming around every single corner in that game, on every single map, on every single game mode, even if it's a slower or a faster paced game mode, is just tiring at times. It really ruins the pacing and it prevents objective play in some ways, because people don't want to push for those objectives because, one, they're going to be heard from all angles by this ridiculously loud footsteps, and two, people are just sitting and camping in rooms, buildings, windows, on top of buildings, and they're not pushing for these objectives, so it does hinder that side of the gameplay as well. But there are ways Infinity Ward can trial and test this skill-based matchmaking system to use a different algorithm, or just tune it slightly to make the pool of, say, KDs or whatever it might be bigger, to allow people which are maybe not as skilled and people that are even more skilled into that pool as well, and it will match you against a wider range of people and skill levels. That is what happened in previous Call of Duties, from the likes of Modern Warfare 2 all the way up until Black Ops 2. You can jump into those lobbies and it will match you with a really wide range of skill levels, and that's the best way to do it. Will the multiplayer be the only thing that keeps Modern Warfare 2 relevant for its overall development cycle, which is 2 years, by the way? No, of course it won't. With Warzone 2 and DMZ being announced alongside Modern Warfare 2, along with Spec Ops, the campaign as well, and probably another mode or two which might be there in the background that we don't really know about, this game has a lot going for it, and I'm really excited to jump in and trial those new modes and features out. But change is needed for the multiplayer. A lot of players who like the way this game is already are usually the ones that play at a much slower pace than the rest. And by the way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The likes of Modern Warfare 2019, that also had a massive divide in the player base. People will say that it's the worst multiplayer experience of all time, whilst others say it's the best. And why is that? Because it depends on your playstyle. If you're a lot of slower player, you like to take things slower, not necessarily always camp, but you like to just move around the map pre-aiming, be more of a tactical approach and try to do better in that way, you're probably going to enjoy it more than someone that's consistently rushing around the map and being dicked by people sitting in buildings and windows and camping and taking it slower and things like that. For the OG COD fans that are used to that sort of gameplay, it's going to be a big adjustment for them. Like myself, it's going to need a lot of adjusting for me as well. And even when I start to play at a slower pace, I actually do a lot better in this game. But why wouldn't I? This game is designed so much like Modern Warfare 2019. Footsteps also being mega loud, so you're literally a T-Rex running around the map. And the fact I can only use 2 weapons in the game because the rest are severely underpowered as well. Look, I can deal with the new perk system. I think that the feedback we've had as well, they've taken the feedback on board with that Infinity Ward, so I've got to give them props. They've sped up the earn rate of those perks too, so I can get used to that. It isn't the end of the world. And to be quite honest, Dead Silence being a field upgrade, look, I've never been a fan of it, but I can deal with it in this game. But just the way this game promotes you to play and the game wants you to play, with the equipment that this game offers you to basically sit there behind a shield or use a decoy on an objective or to have a spy camera looking at an enemy team coming from spawn. Look, at least give us ways to combat the people which want to take it slower by giving us the classic minimap or something like that. At least get them to try and prevent them showing up on the minimap by using a suppressor or something like that. Surely that would be the best alternative, right? to allow someone to play as slow as they want to play, no problem. But if they don't put a suppressor on, they should be at a disadvantage for that. It should show up on the minimap, just as it has done for the last decade of COD. There are ways Infinity Ward can still appease to both sides of this player base and both playstyles here, but I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. Overall, I'm the minority in this, right? The opinion that matters ultimately is yours. What do you guys think of the beta so far? What are your thoughts and opinions on the way the gameplay feels? Would you like the perk system? Do you like Dead Silence? What are your overall thoughts? I would love to know. Please let me know down below in the comments what your overall thoughts of this beta actually is, and how come if you get the skill-based matchmaking system? Let me know what you think of that. But leave your thoughts in the comments down below, everyone. But this has been Wizzo. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you all in the next one.